And so hi, welcome. So if you guys can, I want to make sure I can see this at the same time. Hopefully I'll be able to. So that way if you've got comments, you can pop them up and we can do all of that great stuff. Let's see. I can see it. Okay, perfect. And I don't want to hear it. I just want to see it. Okay, so I've got it going. I can see you here. I'm going to do a screen share in a second. First of all, welcome this evening. I am recording this so we can share it later. The other thing I should pop up is, yeah, okay. So that I can see everything that's going on. Okay, so first of all, thank you for taking the time this evening to join us online and come and get some information that will everything that you're doing to get better for this new year and to get, you know, a life and a body that you love. And you're full of joy and just full of like this renewed strength. It's amazing. We've been doing an adrenal challenge this week, and that is one of the reasons we're doing that's been doing the adrenal challenge is on day 3. And I want you to know that it's not too late for you as well to join. You could start next Monday. You could start Sunday. And you could give it a try. The cool thing about the are we back? Oh my goodness, scariness. Let me make sure we're still streaming, because if not, I gotta fix that. That's weird. All right, hopefully our Wi-Fi doesn't have a glitch again on us, because that would be very, very bad. Okay, we are again. Okay, so we're gonna you want to still do that, but there's exciting stuff. So I'm going to this is going to be interesting. So we have internet issues at home. I've switched to a different Wi-Fi network. I completely apologize. This should not be happening. Okay, let's, oh my goodness, it's kind of frazzling. I don't want it to be frazzling. I want this to be informative for you, and I want you to have a good and enjoyable time while we're talking tonight. So I'm going to screen share. I'm going to share with you some slides. We're going to walk through the slides. Okay, so let me do that, and I can see what's going on my phone, which is awesome. All right, so I'm going to, I'm going to share my desktop. Don't get scared by all the craziness that's out there, but I think it will be best doing it this way. So then if I go and I do this, let's make sure you guys can see this. That is totally the wrong slide. Let's try this again. Oh, crazy night. Okay, you're going to be able to see this, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to be talking about inflammation healing in 5 easy steps. Yes, you can see this. All right, and if you want to see the replay, you can go to momcertified.net, and there's a pre-recorded version of this, but I'll actually have the replay from this video tonight available for you as well, which will be so cool. So we're going to be talking about inflammation in 5 easy steps. And I want you to know that, yes, they're simple, but you got to implement them, right, in order for them to work. I'm going to, so first of all, if you're joining me for the first time and you're like, Tiffany, who the heck are you? I've never met you in my life. Well, my name is Tiffany Hinton. I'm in the Chicagoland area. I'm a best-selling author. I've got 13 published books. The 14th book is going to the editor next Friday. Woohoo! And we'll talk about that at the end. I'm a business owner, a super mom. We have 3 kids that were born in 3 years after I overcame 14 years of infertility. And then I'm a gluten-free lifestyle expert. And what I love to do is to help people have a life and a body that they love. It's about them loving themselves. Hashtag self-love, right? That is what I honestly love to do. So we're going to jump into the content. I will share with you a lot of my story and stories of other women and that I've helped as we go through the content. But we're just going to jump right into it because this is a full-packed hour of stuff that is impactful and can truly help you. So I want you to know that it happens to everyone. Every one of us has shattered dreams and shattered health. Every one of us has been let down, disappointed, sick, and tired. We've all been there, right? You come home and you're like, I just need a nap. If I could get a nap, then I'll have the energy to make dinner. Boy, I just need, I just need to take the day off and just take a me day and just sleep, right? We've all had that point in our life. Every one of us needs healing. Honestly, everybody needs some sort of healing, whether it's physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing. Everybody in the world needs healing, or you know somebody that needs healing. And we've all pictured the way our life should be. I had this picture growing up as a kid that I would be this fabulous mom of 3 little blonde girls. Yes, I have girls, but they're not blonde. And we would live on a farm and we'd have horses, right? And you all have these dreams, and you have these dreams of like, there's a prince on a shiny white horse coming to get you. Or, everybody has their own version of their dream. And the dream evolves as you grow up. But we all have a dream about how our lives should be. And then all of a sudden we're handed something and it impacts us in a way. And we're like, we didn't dream of living this way. This is not what I wanted. I don't like this, right? For some of us, the picture of the way our health should be versus the picture of reality is just a reminder our lives are not turning out the way we had hoped, the way that we had envisioned. No matter what has happened or how you feel, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are other people going through the exact same thing as you right now. There's people on this call and watching this that are like, yeah, I didn't raise my hand and say, hey, give me cancer. Give me type 2 diabetes. Yes, I want that one. I'm going to pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll take rheumatoid arthritis, please. Right? Nobody said that. Nobody grew up saying, I dream of having fibromyalgia when I grow up. That's not what anybody wanted. And being handed a diagnosis like that is heart-wrenching. It's mindset changing. It's a very personal thing. But here's what I've learned. Because every one of us needs healing, every single one of us, we all had dreams and we all had expectations. Like I said, nobody ever grew up thinking, I'm going to get cancer at the age of 41, right? Nobody raised their hand in 4th grade and said, I'm going to be that person. What I want you to know is that's the story of my sister-in-law. And I tell her story a lot because I want you to know that, yeah, she called me one day and she said, I need your help. And I didn't know what she was talking about at the time. I was like, do you want me to help you clean? Do you need help with groceries? What do you need help with? And I can tell you every time I talk to an individual, every time I get on the phone with a woman who needs a life change, the first thing out of their mouth is, I need help. And that admitting you need help is huge. That's the first step in acknowledging that you're ready for change. So she called and she said, I don't want to tell mom, but I need your help. And I'm like, okay, what do you need help with? And Tanya went on to say, I need you to go to the doctor with me. And I was like, all right, no problem. I'll take the time off work. We'll go to the doctor. What's going on? And she's like, I have breast cancer. And for somebody to come out and say that, it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of, just being there in that moment, right, with that person and holding them, whether it's over the phone or holding their hand at the doctor's office, and knowing that they're going to get through it. And I tell you this not to impress upon you, but I tell you this story to let you know that you're not the only one in the situation. Other people have gone before you. Other people will go after. And whether you're the one holding the hand or the one with the diagnosis, people all around you are having the same thing happen, right? What I want you to know is Tanya said, I need help. And we went to the doctor. And then she said, I'm not doing chemo. I'm not doing radiation. And I said, great. What do you want to do? And she's like, I want to eat clean. I want to change my life. And we did that. And I will tell you that, yes, she had a mastectomy, but she's cancer-free. And it's been 2 years. 2 years of eating a clean diet and being completely cancer-free. It's truly amazing. And then nobody ever grew up and said, I'm going to live in constant pain at the age of 34, right? Nobody said that. Nobody ever planned to get sick, and nobody ever thought their child would stop growing at the age of 2. That's my story. My daughter Liliana stopped growing. My daughter Liliana at the age of 15 months was diagnosed failure to thrive. The child, I've told stories about her before on Facebook, but Liliana was basically pooping herself to death. And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but it's so true. She had constant diarrhea. Her poop had turned white. She had stopped growing. She was losing weight. She was 15 months old wearing a 12-month in baby clothes. She weighed like 17 pounds. And I had been seeking at the pediatrician further testing, knowing that she was getting sicker and sicker. And I was like, I want her to have a celiac test. Can you please test her for celiac? And the pediatrician that we go to, we'd been through several in the past. I trust him because he's constantly reading research papers and he's reading articles. And he's just this guy that will sit and talk to you for an hour if you need to. Yes, I understand we pay for that, but that's what I want. And he's like, well, let's do some liver testing first. And she had elevated liver, right? Panel. And so then he wanted to check her gallbladder, and then he wanted to check and make sure she didn't have parasites, and then we needed to check to see if there was fat in her stools. And I was like, can we just do a celiac test? And he's like, okay, we're going to get in touch with the pediatric gastrointestinal doctor. And we did that, and she did a gluten challenge. I would not do a gluten challenge if I had the chance to go back 3 years ago, but at the time that was the best thing that I knew to do, right? So we did a gluten challenge, and you're like, what is a gluten challenge? A gluten challenge is where we fed her 2 slices of cheap white bread every single day for 8 weeks. And then she had a colonoscopy and endoscope and 14 biopsies all in the same day. During that gluten challenge, she continued to get worse. Her body started to kind of shut down. She would cry. She would get into tears that, Mommy, I don't want to eat the bread. Mommy, the bread makes my tummy hurt. Mommy, the bread makes me throw up. The bread this, the bread that. And I was like, Lily, I understand, but you have to eat the bread. We have to have the test. You have to eat the bread. And it was this whole inner turmoil. And I remember going that morning over for her testing and her sitting in the back seat of the car at the time and me telling my husband, I don't think we're going to bring her home. I just felt like the spirit had said, like, you need to say your goodbyes. This is the day that you get to not have your daughter anymore. And it's heart-wrenching, and I cry every time I tell this story because I honestly didn't think we were going to bring her home from the hospital, but yet at the time, the only thing I knew to do was to have the test. They pediatric colonoscopies and endoscopes mean they put you to sleep. So they take her back. We tell her we'll see her when she wakes up, you know, and that she's going to be okay and everything's going to be okay, and I don't believe it. And we go out to the waiting room, and she goes back to have the test. And our pediatrician, gastrointestinal doctor, gastroenterologist, comes out, and she has tears running down her face. And she's like, can we talk in the consult room? And I don't know about you, but I have never seen a doctor cry ever in my life before that. And I have tears at that point running down my face. And I'm thinking, like, she's going to tell us our daughter is gone. Like, she's gone. And we go into that consult room, and she's like, she's in ICU. She's not waking up. I want you to put on a gown and come back with me. We did the biopsies. She has celiac disease. She also has Crohn's disease, and she has a hematoma. If you don't know what a hematoma is, it's a blood blister, a blood pocket inside her intestinal walls, and they were afraid it was going to rupture. And they couldn't get her to wake up. And so, you know, we go back to the ICU, and we're there, and she does wake up, thank God. But we spent 6 days in the hospital with her after that. We spent 6 days of them, you know, doing blood work, checking her blood pressure, doing x-rays and MRIs every single day to check on that hematoma because they were honestly scared that it would rupture and she would bleed out. We brought her home, and they wanted to put her on all this medication. What I will tell you is I had been on all that medicine. I had been diagnosed with Crohn's and IBS at the age of 18. I had been taking pills for 14 years, and I was not going to do that for my daughter. I didn't want her on the steroids. We didn't want to do the Humira. I didn't want her on any of that stuff. And so I took the prescriptions, but I didn't fill them. I called our functional medicine doctor at the hospital, and I said, to Dr. Elise, we're bringing her home today, but I want to do something different. I want to do something through food to heal her. It had worked for my health. It had worked for my story. I don't want her on this medicine. And I will tell you that Dr. Wagner makes house calls. It's one of the few doctors who does. She came over to our house that day. She's a psychologist as well. She sat with, along with being a nutritionalist, she sat with Liliana and had that conversation with a 2-year-old to explain that life would be different, that she would eat different foods, that she may not get to do the same stuff as her classmates, but life would be exciting, right? She brought us over bone broth. We started Liliana on a modified paleo diet. What I want you to know is that was February of 2015, so almost 3 years ago. Liliana put on 7 pounds that summer, grew 4 inches, needed 4 different clothing sizes, and I was ecstatic. And we did that through the power of food. We did that through the power of just healing her gut from the inside out, and it healed the little girl. Today, as you know, she's on probiotics, she's on enzymes, she's eating paleo all the time, and she is this child of vibrance and youth and just excitement and this ever-growing mind of inquisitiveness and wanting to learn. And it's an amazing story. But let's be honest for a minute. What brings us those strong emotions is the fact that it feels like all the other people around us are achieving their dreams, right? Their lives seem so put together. Everyone else looks healthy. Everyone else looks like they're fit. Everyone else is having kids. Why not me? That was my story. I had infertility for 14 years. Everybody else is successful. Why not me? And we don't know what goes on behind somebody's bathroom door. You don't necessarily know what's going on in their life. You don't know if they're up all night with insomnia or hot flashes. You don't know if they're taking all this medication. It just looks better from the outside, right? Does that sound familiar? Do you ever say, why me? Everybody else is fine. Why do I have this disease? Why do I have this problem? Why am I the one with the gas? Because I have to say it happens to every one of us. Every one of us looks at that other person and says, my goodness, I wish I looked like them. I wish I felt like them. I wish. But what do you have to do when you have to find another way? That's what we're going to explore tonight in this seminar, right? We're going to talk about what do you got to do when you realize that what you're doing is not working and you can't just keep being sick. You have to find another way. Because to tell you the truth, I needed those answers as desperately as you do. I would never pretend to understand what you're going through or to know exactly what you're going through. And I would never assume to understand your pain and your personal frustration you might be experiencing. But I have personally experienced my own health scares, and I'll tell you about those more as we get going in a few. And I've walked with a countless number of people through unspeakable diagnoses. My symptoms growing up as a kid. At the age of 14, I was asthmatic. I had acid reflux. I had bloating. By the time I was 18, I had intestinal bleeding. That means that yes, you're 18 years old and you're dating and you're a senior in high school, and every time you fart, there's blood in your underwear. It's not exciting. It's not happy. It's embarrassing. You make up excuses why you can't go out. I had unexplained infertility for over 14 years. I was taking 25 pills one time, right? For a lot of years, I took 25 pills a day and pills for all kinds of crazy stuff. And what I want you to know is there's some stuff on there about celiac disease. Yeah, you have to have the genetic predispositions for it, but that doesn't mean that you get the disease. But if you have that predisposition, you're more likely, right? My misdiagnosis, and I call it that because it was truly a misdiagnosis. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. Does anybody have that? If you do, hit the like button. It's a very common diagnosis. It means that you have ulcerated colon. It means that you have pinholes, as you can see here, and little abrasions in your colon or in your large intestine. That being said, they put me on Azicol. Azicol is a medication that lines the intestinal tract, so you can't absorb anything. So then you end up with malabsorption, right? And I end up failure to thrive as a young adult. I was on prednisone, a steroid. I was on Coldacort, which is an enema to relieve inflammation in the gut. And if you've never had an enema, I'll let you Google and watch all those videos on your own. It's not a pleasant experience, especially for somebody that's trying to go through college. My real diagnosis is I was diagnosed with endometriosis stage 4 in 2007. There's only 5 stages of endometriosis. This autoimmune disease will actually kill you. I have stage 4. At stage 5, they normally tell you have about 6 months to live. I have a gluten intolerance. I actually have celiac disease and the DQ2 gene. I have lactose intolerance, right? And then I have Crohn's disease. I have multiple autoimmune conditions that are all treated now through food. It's truly amazing. I don't take any pharmaceutical products. So like I said, I had 14 years of unexplained infertility. So Frankie was our first daughter. And all of my kids have food sensitivities and food allergies because of my own compromised immune system, right? And my own genes were passed on. Frankie was born 6 weeks early, honestly, I think because I had a gluten reaction and I had some cross-contamination that caused me to go into labor. Frankie was born 6 weeks early, I just said that, but she was born and her lungs collapsed when she was an hour old. She was rushed to the NICU, and we didn't know if she was gonna make it, right? And then at 3 days old, she was failing, miserably failing. Her liver was shutting off, and they started running all these tests, and we found out she had galactosemia. Large, scary word. It was a big monster of a word at the time. They said, I have to go to Children's Hospital in Chicago. We need to go downtown. They need to run additional blood work. And we come to find out, like, yes, galactosemia is, she's missing a gene. The gene that the chromosome gene thing that she's missing has caused her not to produce a GALT enzyme. So she means that she can't break down lactose, which means that she can't have milk, basically. So we get all the way to the city, and I'm like, what does this mean? And they're like, she has to be dairy-free. I'm like, really? No medicine, no special treatment, nothing? They're like, no, just dairy-free. And I'm like, oh, that's easy. I'm already dairy-free. I've been gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free since '07. And Frankie was born in 2011. It's like, that's easy. We take her home, and she thrives. She has gluten sensitivities. My husband can tell you that story sometime. He fed her Ritz crackers, and she had a horrible reaction. And she has red 40 issues whenever with behavior, right? She turns into this little ADHD crazy person with red 40 and has brain fog and memory gaps and blocks. And so she knows not to eat red 40. Liliana is the kid on the back of the bicycle. As you can tell there, she is super, super tiny. She is a child that will probably always be petite because of her failure to thrive when she was 2 years old. And so she's diagnosed with celiac and Crohn's disease. She is allergic to peanuts. She's allergic to nightshades, and she's allergic to yellow American cheese because of the annatto in the American cheese. Hold 1 second. I'm going to take a drink of water. And then Josephine, my youngest, is anaphylactic to chicken eggs and allergic to strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. But Josephine is like this bully of a kid. She's the girl that will probably play football. And honestly, it doesn't matter what it is. She's just a go-getter. She's an amazing little girl. So those are my girls. And yeah, I overcame infertility when we found out that I had celiac disease. I went gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free for 9 months. I was pregnant with our first daughter. Like I said, we had 3 in 3 years. What does that mean? We had 3 in diapers. We had 3 that potty trained at the same time. And now I have a first grader, a kindergartner, and a pre-K student all together. They will go through life always together, right? This little pack of girls. And they're truly amazing, and they're my gift from God. So what I want you to know is you don't have to undertake the rest of your life on the power of your own resources. We have a whole community that wants to help you. And if I can't personally help you, I have a whole group of resources and people that I know that I can connect you to. I can help you find what you need. And that's what I love doing. So we're going to get into these 5 steps. I would encourage you, if you're at home, to grab a pencil and a paper. And if you don't have one now, then rewatch this with a pencil and a paper, okay? These 5 steps are things that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I knew that. But you may not have realized that when you put them together, they are the magic secret recipe. They will defeat the inflammation. They will help you heal the mitochondria. Excuse me. They will make your tummy go flat. They will get rid of your headaches. It's truly amazing. And if you've been doing the adrenal reset this week with the group, adding these additional steps is going to take it so much further for you. It's going to make it like unbelievable. And you're going to have this shift and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why have I never done this before? I feel like I'm 20 again. For some of us, we don't want to ever be 20 again, but you get the picture. All right. So number 1, food and nutrition, right? We can't have optimal health by eating an average American diet and taking vitamins and supplements. You just can't eat all that regular American diet, standard American diet food, take some vitamins and some supplements and think that you're getting everything that you need. Real food is what contains all the secrets. It's why it's important for us to use real food to fulfill that vast the nutritional requirements that our cells need. So your cells need, honestly, over 4,000 different kinds of enzymic and nutrient-dense items, 4,000 every minute of every day, right? And a lot of times you need an enzyme to help break down the food, if you go back to our last webinar we did, so that you can actually pull all those micronutrients out of what you're eating. But real food is that real secret. Dr. Walls says a female needs 6 cups of vegetables every single day, and a male needs 9 cups of raw vegetables every single day in order to even get the nutrients that you need. There's no way you can get that from a supplement. There's no way that you can get that from a vitamin. It's just not gonna work. You have to eat the real food. All right? So what I would suggest that you do moving forward is to follow an integrated functional medicine plan. And a lot of you are like, Tiffany, what is that? It's very simple. It's eating the way you've been eating if you're part of the group. It's following the meal plans that we suggest. It's being gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free. And I know that sounds really complicated, but it's super easy. Now, if you are somebody that is like in a raging flare that has an autoimmune condition, or you've been gluten-free, but you can't lose the weight, or you're gluten-free and your stomach is still swelling up and you just have like these chronic conditions and pain in your elbows and pain in your feet, I would love for you to go on the ultimate healing track. And we can work on this together, right? It's being grain-free. It's also being legume-free along with dairy and sugar-free. And a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, that's got to be so difficult. Yes, I will admit it is a challenge. But the challenge is what makes us grow. The challenge is what makes us move forward. The challenge is the thing where you reach out and say, I need help. Help me. And you just take off from there and you blossom into this new person. And it's truly amazing. So your new prescription, it's very simple. It's food. It's real food, right? So the solution in step 1 is eating real food, eating a clean diet of real, organic, and whole food. And if you're somebody that's like, I can't afford organic, go over to our website, gfmomcertified.com, jump in the store and download the Eating Organic on a Budget. It's free. It'll tell you how to do it so you can afford to be organic. And if you still can't afford to be organic, get the best food that you can for the price that you can afford and go back to real food, whole food, nothing in a box, nothing in a can, nothing processed, nothing that's really shelf stable, right? If it can sit in your cabinet for 6 months to a year, you should not be eating it, right? If you can't read the ingredients and pronounce them and know what they are, then do not eat it. Go back to what it really should be, real food. Okay, number 2 is water. Water, 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 right? Water. And I've been drinking water all day. What's really cool is this is a 17-ounce bottle that I got. And it means that if I drink 4 of these, actually 3.5, I meet my goal for the day. So it's a great way to measure that, right? Now, it's not advisable to drink tap water unless it's been filtered. Tap water is chlorinated. It's got chlorine in it. And chlorine will damage the gut flora balance, right? And so if you've been taking a probiotic and then you're drinking tap water, you're just killing the probiotic or the prebiotic. It doesn't work. It can cause more inflammation. So you need to be filtering your water if you're drinking tap water. The better choice would be to go with an alkaline water, right? And if you can't afford an alkaline machine or to buy alkaline water, add some lemons, add some limes to your water and go with that. It works. All right, so an average adult should be drinking 1.5 liters or about 60 ounces of water each day. I would even suggest for a 150-pound person, your average person, that you need 75 ounces of water every single day. Why? Because the solution in step 2 is water. You need to drink half your body weight in ounces each day. So your 150-pound person needs 75 ounces of water every single day. All right, walking, right? Walking, walking, and walking. Walking is key. Walking is key. Okay, so with walking, I want to jump over. I'm looking at our video, sorry. With walking, your brain literally depends on exercise for growth factors, and it needs it to thrive. Exercise stimulates the release of particular hormones in the brain that nourishes our brain cells. They allow you to regenerate brain cells. It allows your brain to regenerate neurons. It allows you to grow new wiring and rewire your brain together so that you can continue to get new habits. You can continue to grow. And all it is 20 minutes. right? And exercise can be things like stretching, balance work, strengthening, cardio. Don't jump into cardio right away if you're not a cardio person. I would also say you could do some endurance, right? So if you're a walker, you could go from walking 2 miles to 3 miles to 5 miles and kind of build up some endurance. But the stretching and the balancing are huge, so important. So the solution in step 3 is walking, walking for at least 20 minutes every day. And now you're going to tell me, oh my goodness, because everybody has excuses. I don't have time to spend 20 minutes. I can't do that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you park at the back of the parking lot when you drive to work and you walk into the building. You park at the last parking spot in the grocery store parking lot and you walk inside. And over time, those 20 minutes are going to add up for you. The other thing is walk out and get your mail. Maybe take 1 lap around the block every day, right? And then just keep increasing from there. I'm going to tell you a short story about a client of mine. She called me about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and said, I need help. That's how everybody starts. But her thing was she couldn't get off the couch. Her autoimmune condition was hurting so much that she could not get off the couch physically. It just was so painful. She put these 5 steps into place. She started eating a clean diet. She started working with me as her coach. And I will tell you that today, she can walk 3 to 5 miles in the mountains. And when she doesn't walk at least 3 miles, she thinks her day is a failure. So it went from not being able to get off the couch to within 90 days walking 3 miles and feeling like if I didn't do my 3 miles, I was failing myself. Not failing Tiffany, but failing herself. And all it was doing was changing these 5 simple things. That's all she did. She didn't change her medication. She didn't do any of that stuff. She didn't hire a personal trainer, none of that stuff. And I can tell you that the first week I said, you got to do this challenge. She went and got all the groceries. And then the night before she was supposed to start, she was going to quit. And her husband said, you already got all the stuff. You're not going to quit. I'm going to cook for you. And he cooked that whole first week and she started to feel improvements. And she started to feel better. And she still does it today. She is a true, and she's like, the thing about her story is she feels so much better and so much healthier. And like she feels better than she has in so many years that she's actually looking to donate organs this year to help other people. It's like this feeling of helping and then the helper helping the helpee and the helpee becoming the helper. And it's just like this whole thing is amazing and it's so awesome. All right, so number 4, decluttering. And you're like, what does my dirty house have to do with my health? It has a lot to do with your health. All right, so you need to clear your environment in order to clear your mind, right? So walk with me for a second. I told you earlier last week about the stack of magazines in my house that was driving me nuts. But what if you've got a stack of newspapers or you've got bags sitting by your front door that need to go to Goodwill or they need to go to the Salvation Army, and you walk by them every day and you're like, I'll do it the next day. I'll do it the next day. And then all of a sudden you realize like you just keep procrastinating and it's causing you stress, undue stress. Or you have a junk drawer in your kitchen and you need something out of there and you just need that one little bottle opener and you know it's in there, but because there's all this other stuff in there, you can't find the bottle opener, right? And so you're causing your adrenals to go and to trigger and you're causing stress when you don't even need it. You need to get rid of stress and clutter, especially if it's physical, mental, environmental. You've got grief that you're holding on to, hatred, whatever, right? You need to write those people a letter. You need to physically write them on paper. I don't care if you mail it to them or throw it away when you're done or burn the stupid thing. But you got to mentally get it out of your brain in order for you to have a physical transformation. You got to throw it out, give it away, forgive about it, and forget. And a lot of times you got stuff in your kitchen that you're like, oh, it's so nice. I can't just get rid of it, right? Like Pyrex or whatever it is. Take it to your neighbor and say, here you go. Happy New Year. I hope you enjoy it, right? Take it to the Goodwill. Take the tax write-off. Be done with it, right? Just get rid of it. Get some clearing in your life. What I want you to do, the solution in step 4 is to declutter. I want you tonight, before you go to bed, to clean one little thing up in your home. Throw one thing in the trash can. Maybe it's a piece of magazine. Maybe it's a piece of junk mail. Maybe it's last week's newspaper. One thing is all I'm asking for. Get rid of it tonight. Number 5 is a bath. And you're like, Tiffany, what does a bath have to do with my health? I'm a clean person. I shower. I understand, but I'm going to tell you why you need a bath, and I'm going to tell you why your grandma said take a bath, okay? So right now, most of us consume a modern, high sugar, high processed foods diet that really has a devastating effect on our magnesium. It's making us magnesium deficient. And you're like, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you're magnesium deficient, you can have sleeplessness, you have tics, you could have muscle spasms going on or eye twitches, cramping, seizures, extra anxiety. You could even have an irregular heartbeat because you don't have enough magnesium in your life. And you're like, all right, so how do I get magnesium? Well, you could go outside and have a mud pie, but I'm going to tell you a better way to do it. And you don't have to eat dirt. Okay, the other thing is when you're sulfur deficient, now you're like, Tiffany, magnesium and sulfur, what has this got to do with a bath? We're getting there. When you're sulfur deficient, it occurs because we're on a low-fat diet, right? The typical Western nations have this idea that we need to be low-fat. In reality, you don't need to be low-fat, but that's a whole other story. And so the problem becomes a lot more serious. A low-fat diet is normally higher in refined carbohydrates, and it directly converts to fat immediately in your body. So you end up with that fat tire, the flat tire, the muffin top, the belly area, right, is where you're holding all that fat. And worse is as you go on a detox or when you start to do something like this and you do an adrenal reset or you do a clean eating week, the fat is then getting re-released into your bloodstream as triglycerides because your body's starting to break it back down from that midsection. And it's using it as an attempt to bring fuel back into the body, but that inflamed part of those muscles that you were storing causes more inflammation to be reintroduced. So a lot of times as you go on a detox or you do a reset, you actually have what they call a die-off effect, or you feel like you have the flu for the first few days. And it's because the body's starting to break down the fat that was stored up, and those fats have toxin in them. And those fats have things that cause inflammation in the body. So you may have an inflammation spike, but then it should go right back down within 3 weeks. All right, so sufficient sulfur intake is absolutely critical to avoid problems with chronic pain, metabolism, excess weight. And they're finding that if your sulfur is high enough, it can help prevent and slow the progress of an Alzheimer's disease. So if you've got somebody that's got borderline dementia or they think they've got early stage dementia, doing this bath that I'm talking about can help them. All right. So you want to take a bath in Epsom salt, and that's with an M, not an N. I need to correct that. 3 days a week for at least 20 minutes. And now a lot of people always say, well, how much salt? Half a cup of salt to a tub of water. And the next question I always get when I do this presentation live is, I don't have a bathtub. I understand. Go to the dollar store, get a bucket, right? Get a foot bucket, get a bucket that'll fit your feet, put some warm water in there, take your socks off, soak your feet in Epsom salt 3 days a week for 20 minutes. You can do it while you're reading a book. You can do it while you're reading the newspaper, watching TV, whatever you got to do. Maybe you can put the bucket and work on your laptop while you're doing something for work. Doesn't matter. Get the Epsom salt starting to go through your body. The other thing that the Epsom salt will do is pull the toxins out as it puts the magnesium and the sulfur into your body. I will tell you, magnesium, if it gets high enough, and this is how you know you have enough magnesium, it will cause you to have loose stools, okay? Not explosive diarrhea, but it can cause your stools to loosen up. So if you're somebody that suffers with constipation, taking a bath in Epsom salt can help you. Truly awesome. I use it for my kids as well. It helps with calming, but it also helps them. So I always add Epsom salt at least 3 days a week to our kids' bath. All right, so let's re-look at these for a second. Healing inflammation in 5. Step 1, food. Diet, clean diet, right? Eating those organic whole foods with support and a menu. And you're like, how do I get the support in the menu? We'll talk about that in a minute. Step 2, water. Drinking half your body weight in ounces each day. Actually doing the water, right? Drinking your water. Step 3, walking. Walking, stretching, balance work. Short workouts. Nothing strenuous, nothing 2-3 hours worth. Nothing massive. No, don't go out and say, I need to join the gym and do cardio. No, I didn't say that. 20 minutes a day of you doing something in your home is fine. Step 4, decluttering. Clean out one area of your home today. Honestly, just get it done with. Throw something out. Okay? Take it to your neighbors, ring the doorbell, and run away and laugh. I don't know. Just get rid of it. Step 5, a bath. Go get some Epsom salt from CVS, from Walgreens. It's like $6, and do an Epsom salt bath. Okay? You're going to feel amazing. And when you combine these 5 steps, this is what I would love for you to do, right? Combine the 5 steps, do them together, and then tell us how you feel in a week. How do you feel in 21 days? How do you feel at that 21 day, that 3-week period? What are the differences, right? I want you to know you can expect a lot. You can expect more energy, better mobility, less abdominal cramping. You can expect improved blood sugar, improved blood pressure. A lot of my clients find that when they're doing this regularly, their blood sugar medication is gone. Their blood sugar is regulated within 40 to 60 days. Their blood pressure medication normally gets decreased at least in half. It may not go away completely. It depends on your body. Everybody is unique. You're going to expect some weight loss if you're carrying a little extra weight. If you are somebody that's bulimic or anorexic, you might have a little bit of weight gain because you're actually eating whole food that's nourishing your body, but you're going to get the improved energy, right? And you're going to have less headaches. You're not going to have that nagging headache just kind of sitting here all day and you're like, I just got used to it because it's always there. It should not be there. Headaches are a sign of inflammation. They should not be there. It's really your choice, right? If you've been to Landmark, you know vanilla chocolate chews, right? This is your choice, right? Food, medicine, choose. Food, big pharma, choose. Make your choice. It's that simple. It's really your choice. All you got to do is say, hey, I want this. Make me have it happen. Help me, help me, help me, right? You can continue to mask the pain. You can grow better. You can feel as if you're all alone. Or you can say, I'm in. I'm taking steps toward healing. I'm doing this. I'm taking a step forward. It might make 2 steps backwards, but I'm moving forward. You can begin to trust and believe that maybe, just maybe, there is someone in your life who can and will speak those healing words. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. I want this. I want to be a better me. I want to be better for my family. I want to be better at work. I want to be better in my business. I want to be better and not be so grouchy for my children in the evening when they get home. I want to be better. Right? So I want you to know, I want you to come make it real. And I know this says, let's do a 5-day challenge. We're already doing the challenge. If you are not already doing the adrenal reset with us, you need to comment below and write the word adrenal so I can reach out to you via private message, or you can shoot me a private message and say, I want in on this adrenal reset. You need to start this tomorrow. You need to start this on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and just do it. But I have bigger news on how you can actually come make this real, okay? I want to actually, let me see something if I can see if there's a lot of comments here. Okay, hey Karen, I see you're here. I'm going to get to comments at the end, so if you've got questions, put them in the comments on Facebook. Me or Karen will answer you, and I will get everybody answered as we get going. Good evening, Teresa. Hello, Latanya. Hi, Sally and Angela. It's so great you guys are all tuning in. I'm excited. Okay, so I do have some bigger news, but I want you to know that you can do the challenge. You can get the reset. You can get all the information. You can make it yours, right? The steps to healing your information is to actually join our community. Join the group, right? Email me, message me. What are your most common complaints, right? What are those? And I want you to know those benefits, right? Benefits are having this Healing Through Food community group on Facebook. There's accountability within the group. You're going to get menus for the adrenals for 5 days. You're going to get a grocery list. Yes, there's a little tweaks in there, but we're fixing that. Hey, Sue, you're going to get recipes. They're good tasting recipes, as some people noted. Like I'd make you eat yucky stuff, seriously. And then you get daily education. We're sending you encouragement. They're not necessarily emails because we moved to an online group. I need to update these slides. Well, you're getting all of this information, right? We're going to skip that page for a second. Those 5 steps are food, water, walking, decluttering, and getting in the bathtub with some Epsom salt. It's really that simple. So what I want you to know is the solution, right? The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, to move with it, to join the dance. You cannot go to the ocean and stick your toe in and come back home and say, I've gotten the ocean. No, you did not. Sorry, you did not get in. You either get your whole body in or you just don't say that you got in, right? It's the same way with this. You can't say, oh, I tried clean eating and it didn't work for me because you ate 1 salad or you had 1 smoothie. Does not work. You have to stick it out for the week. And if you fall off the bandwagon, I get it. Just get right back on. Get right back on where you fell off and just keep plunging forward 1 step at a time. Seriously, 1 step, right? 1 step is what it takes for you to move forward. 1 step every day. And eventually you're doing all 5 of these every single day. And that's when your life is going to change. And you're going to come back and you're going to be like, holy goodness, I am a new person. I have all this energy. I love life. I need more days just like today. I actually said that today to Will. I said, I need more days just like today. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. I love everything about today. Today was a me day. Today was the day I went out and did what I wanted to do. Today was the day I shared the stories I wanted to share. Today was the day that things that I had been dreaming about and manifesting came true. It's truly amazing. I'm going to stop sharing these slides for a second. And we're going to go back to this video so you guys can see me. Okay, so there's a lot of content. I get it. We covered a lot of information tonight. Totally understand that. I also know that there'll be people that have questions. I want you to know if you have questions, drop them in the comments. I will get all these questions answered. I will work with you this evening to make sure we get all of that addressed. I have a little bit bigger news, okay? You sat through the whole webinar, so I want to give you a special, if that's okay with you. All right, so it's been about an hour, I get it. And so what I want you to know is that the new book has a name. The new book has an awesome name. We're in the process right now of getting that domain and everything else set up. But what I want you to know is that that new book is not just a book. It's 260 pages currently. The cover is actually in design tonight. I should have a draft cover tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be sharing that draft cover with you. I'm sharing it with you because you are a family. I'm sharing it with you because I want you to see it and I want feedback. The book is more than a book, right? And it's not just a coach in a book. It is a clean eating diet plan and journal. It is 9 weeks of menus, just like you've been doing, plus the adrenal chapter, plus a challenge week chapter. It is 9 weeks of journaling. Every week you can journal. It is the opportunity for you to have a private group. It is the opportunity for you to get journaling reminder emails every week saying, with a live video from me, saying, hey, and it corresponds with the journal assignments. You can open the book to that page and after you watch the video, journal, right? Because it takes a mind shift in order to have a behavior shift that is permanent so that it becomes a lifestyle. There are stories in there of restoration. There are stories in there from my own personal journal that I'm sharing. There are pictures of food upon food that you would be like, I never thought I could have that. How is that clean? How is that vegan? And what I want you to know is the whole book is gluten-free. The whole book is dairy-free. The whole book is processed sugar-free, right? If you are vegan, there is a vegan substitute for every single thing. If you are somebody that is grain-free, it's pretty much everything in there but 2 things, maybe only 1 thing, is grain-free. The whole idea behind this and the recipes is that anybody that was put on an inflammation, functional medicine protocol diet would have a place to go instead of having a list of paper from a doctor that said, you can no longer have these things. Because when we are told we cannot have something is when our mind goes into overdrive and starts to have this mental breakdown like, what am I going to do? And so many of us, including myself, will walk into a grocery store with a list of I cannot eat, don't buy anything. Some of us will even fill up a cart, never check out, go back out to our car and cry. Because we realize that life as we know it is over. What I want you to know is life as you know it is not over. You can still eat pizza. You can still have tacos. You can still have all these amazing foods. You just got to cook them yourself or find a personal chef that will cook them for you, right? And we have a personal chef in this group that's willing to help you. And yes, you have to do it all week. And the reason there is 5 days on the menu is because in most instances, there are leftovers. Now, if you have a leftover monster in your house, and you know who I'm talking to if that's your house, then no, there are no leftovers and you may have to make an extra meal, but then you pick your favorite one from those whole 5 days and you make that on Saturday. If you don't have the leftover monster, you eat the leftovers on Saturdays and Sundays so you don't have to continue to cook. The whole idea is that you have a community. The book itself, like I said, it's 270 pages at this point, full color. You write in it, you journal in it. It is like this little, it's not even little, it's big. It's a big thing for you. And it comes with the community. It comes with the journaling videos, with me shooting and talking to you and engaging with you. It comes with so much stuff. It comes with templates and downloadable resources. And so that after those 11 weeks, because you've got the 9 weeks plus the challenge, plus the adrenal, that's 11 menus, right? It's almost a half a year, almost. It's a quarter of a year. After those, you go back and you can print off the templates and you can fill out based on the recipes that you love and make your menus and use the grocery list. Or you could go back to the beginning and say, all right, we're repeating it for this quarter and we're just going to use it in reverse or whatever, right? Or you go to week 3 and make that week 1 and the next time you do it. It's all for you. The other thing is it's built so you can do it in a group. It's built so that you could take this into your women's group. You could take it into your prayer group, your book club, and you could host weekly sessions. And you can have a facilitator, and I will even help coach your facilitators so that they are better facilitators. And the facilitator can help you personally, right? And you could have 20 women doing this all at the same time, and you could have food prepping shops wherever you live in the US or globally, honestly. You could have mindset sessions. You could have yoga together one week, and you could journal and share your journaling entries with each other, because when we share and we have that community relationship, we have accountability, we have support, we have feedback, we have love, and that love is what makes us stronger, okay? The whole package, I don't even know what I'm calling it right now. I have a name for it, but I don't want to share the name until I own the rights, right? So we're working on that right now. So I'll release that tomorrow, and that'll be big news. But this whole package, this whole plan, it's a plan. It's a diet plan. It's a journal. It's a diet plan and journal. Like I said, it's sugar-free, vegan, gluten-free diet plan and journal. This whole thing is going to retail for a one-time payment of $149, which I know people are like, that's not very much for all that you're giving us. And I get it, but I want to make it accessible, right? I want to make it so that you don't have to think about it, so that you have what you need to succeed. Because with you succeeding and you feeling better, the people around you, the people that depend on you, are going to have a much better outcome on life. They're going to succeed. They're going to feel loved, and they're going to know that you're just a different person, that you feel better, right? They'll hear it in your voice. They'll see it in your actions. And honestly, you might end up with a leftover monster at your house because the food is that good. What I want to do as a special offer, because you did join us tonight live on this webinar, is I want to offer it to you for $99. That being said, like I said, it's early stages. So if you want to do this for the $99 for the one-time payment, it gets you that whole plan. It gets you the journaling, all of it, and a physical printed book, which will be released and shipped to you in late February, early March. It's going to the editor. I talked to the editor today. We're good to go. And I will share the draft cover with you tomorrow. If you want that, what I want you to do is I want you to private message me. You can go to Facebook, look up Tiffany Hinton, send me a private message. Tell me why you need the plan. I want to know why. I want to know why so I can help you. I want you to succeed. It's really about you. I want to know, and then we'll figure out a way. We'll either do PayPal invoicing, or I'll get a shopping cart up tomorrow and we'll get it figured out. But I want you to know, like, I'm excited and I want to start sharing this with people. I want you to know it's almost ready. But I also want you to know that I want you to succeed. I want you to have a life and a body you love. And I want you to be like, I can do this. I just needed to know how. And Miss Regina Pope, it wrote part of the introduction for the plan and journal. And Regina actually wrote in there that she was the person diagnosed with celiac. She was one of those people just like me that walked in the grocery store, walked back out, and was in tears in the parking lot and didn't even want to go home, but didn't know what to eat. Regina just needed to honestly know what to do, how to do it, and what to cook. Regina was the person that when she got in touch with me was like, God sent an angel, because you just sent me everything I needed that the doctor didn't give me. The doctor gave me a list that said, don't eat this, don't eat that. No more cereal, no more oats, no more this, no more that, no more bread, no more rolls, no more ice cream. And she's like, I didn't even know what to get. And I instead gave her a list of, you're going to have smoothies, you're going to have green juice, you're going to have salads, you're going to have Cobb salad, you're going to have chicken. Yes, chicken's not vegan, but tofu's vegan. You're going to have stuffed potatoes, you're going to have spaghetti squash, you're going to have fajita tacos that you could have completely vegan. You're going to have bean soup, you're going to have chili again, you're going to have all this stuff. You're even going to get pumpkin muffins, right? And she was like, and then you gave me the recipes, and they were easy, and they took like 30 minutes, and it wasn't hard. And honestly, within 2 weeks, her headaches were gone, her hot flashes were gone. And people at work started saying, Regina, what are you doing? You look amazing. And Regina kept saying, I'm just following a plan. And she wanted to share the plan, and she wanted to share the plan, but she didn't know how to share the plan, right? And I'm giving you a way to share the plan now. So when I tell you that you can take this into a small group, you can take it to your book club, your mommy's group, you guys, it's a way to share the plan and do it together as a group. All right. I want to truly thank you for joining me. I know it's late on the East Coast. I have no idea what time overseas, and I know we have people on here from across the ocean. I know we have people on here from California, Angela, and there's probably a couple of ladies from Alaska. So I do want to thank you for joining me tonight on the webinar. If you've got questions, like I said, I will reply to all of the comments. We will work through those. If you want to shoot me a private message, if you want to get the diet plan and journal book and the whole package that I was talking about for the $99, just message me. We'll figure that out. We'll make it work, and you'll actually get a physically printed book, and you'll get the first run of those from the printer because they're coming in a few short weeks. It's very exciting. So have a great evening. I will talk to you all soon. There will be a recording I will share later of this as well. And if you need to share it with somebody because they need to start these 5 steps because you need to help them, feel free to do that, okay? Talk to you all soon. Bye.